Are you looking for the best wet-dry vacuums? In this video we will look at some of the 7 best wet-dry vacuums on the market. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description, so make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Number 1. eCowl Lulu Quick Clean PO5 Wet Dry Vacuum. We voted the eCowl Lulu Quick Clean PO5 the best overall because it encapsulates so many great features in an affordable package. Besides the easy setup that took just under 2 minutes to take out of the package, this vacuum features dual tanks that separate fresh water from dirty so that you don't just continue to spread dirt on your floors. From tile to hardwoods, the suction was excellent, and it managed to clean up liquid messes and suck up heavy debris within the first 30 seconds of going over any spot on the floor. For more oily or sticky spots, the button to release extra water and cleaning solution was needed and came in handy. While it is convenient to move this vacuum to different surfaces in your home, one potential con we noticed was that it was a little bit harder to use on the carpet and needed a little more force of hand. While it did feel like the carpet got a deeper cleaning thanks to the fact that it was almost shampooing due to the water. However, the extra force required may get frustrating if you have a lot of carpet in your home. Aside from that, another con we noticed was that when the vacuuming feature was on, it let out a high-pitched whirring noise that was pretty loud, which could get annoying, especially if you have a lot of ground to cover. Besides that, this vacuum has a lot of great features that we love. From the self-cleaning bristles to the easy emptying water reservoir and the battery-operated motor. All of these are things you'd find in a name-brand vacuum or mop that could easily be twice the price of the eCowl Lulu. However, this wet-dry vacuum performs well and is very affordable. For those who favor an upright vacuum, this model has a lot of bells and whistles and won't break the bank. Number 2. Bissell Crosswave Hydro Steam Plus Wet Dry Vac. The Bissell B0440 got our vote as the best overall runner-up because it did a great job of moving from surface to surface. It took just under 40 seconds to clean up the mess on the tile and 1.5 minutes to clean the hardwood floors and required no scrubbing. Moving on to the carpet, it did even better than the eCowl. It also moved around furniture with ease. From chair legs to corners to couches, it slid from surface to surface without too much hassle, which is a huge time saver. It also left the carpet fully dry after cleaning, so you can walk on it immediately. We voted this as a runner-up to the eCowl because the vacuum itself is remarkably loud. So loud, in fact, that nobody in the room could have a conversation or watch TV while it's running. Also, it is a corded model, which means you'll have to carefully choreograph your movements to avoid getting caught up while cleaning. Besides that, it is a bit more expensive than the eCowl, but when you consider that it doesn't significantly underperform on any surface, that isn't a massive con. All in all, this vacuum is a great option if you have an equal variety of tile, hardwood, and carpet in your home. Number 3. Tineco Floor 1S5 Wet Dry Vacuum. The Tineco Floor 1S5 did a great job at picking up wet and dry messes at the same time. Between soggy cereal, slimy egg yolks, and crunchy egg shells, this vacuum performed extremely well on all our tests, even in hard-to-reach places like the grout lines of tile. We also liked that it easily slid under the table and around chairs and table legs. With this being said, there were some places, specifically along the edge of low furniture, where the suction wasn't as strong as we would have liked, and it would have required manual cleaning with a rag. Although it was not the best with awkward corners and angles, the suction was great directly over a mess and didn't need a ton of extra attention to fully clean up spills and debris. Throughout the entire cleaning process, we barely used 20% of the full battery life, so you can easily get several cleaning sessions out of one charge, which also comes in handy. We also loved how simple cleaning and aftercare are for this vacuum. Emptying the bin was very easy, and we barely got our hands dirty. We also tested the self-cleaning process between cleaning tests, which made the manual deep cleaning even easier. This is ultimately why we gave it the vote of Best Smart Vacuum. Features like the self-cleaning mode were a huge time saver and made overall maintenance of the device even easier. This vacuum is at a higher price point that may not be for everyone. It's definitely a luxury device, and if your budget allows for more of an investment, the advanced tech makes it worth the purchase. Number 4. Roborock Dyad Pro. One of the most frustrating parts of vacuuming is having to deal with a cord that gets in your way while cleaning, not to mention what a logistical nightmare it is to figure out where to plug it in so that there's enough space to reach every nook and cranny of any given room. If these things annoy you, a cordless wet-dry vacuum is life-changing. The Roborock Dyad Pro won our vote for the best cordless, in large part, because of its excellent battery life. It managed to keep a charge throughout all of the cleaning tests, and once we were done, it was still just under 80% charged, so it could easily do several other cleaning sessions on a single charge alone. We were also impressed by how well it did on all the surfaces we tested, from grout to hardwoods to tile. Among all the textures, like slimy egg yolks and crunchy cereal, it had a strong suction that seemed to give a very thorough clean. We found that we had to up the intensity to the highest setting to get some of the more stubborn debris off the floor, but all in all, this was remarkably effective. It is important to note here that we weren't able to obtain the cleaning solution that comes with this vacuum, so all we had to work with was water, which made the results here all the more impressive. We also noticed how easily the vacuum maneuvered around different furniture, from the dining room table to the sharp turns around the edges of a bookcase. As far as cons, the main one we noticed was that whenever there was a blockage in the canister, the rollers were hard to remove to clear whatever the obstruction was. This could definitely become an annoying task as it comes up in more in-depth cleanings, especially if you have things like small toys or larger chunks of food on the floor. Additionally, Roborock has an app that is meant to allow you to control different features of your device, like self-cleaning and self-drying modes. However, we couldn't get the app to successfully work or figure out what else you can control with it, so we were unable to test this feature. Overall, we found that this vacuum worked well across varied hardwood surfaces and had a strong suction that cleaned up both wet and dry messes with ease. It doesn't work on carpets, so you'll have to use a regular vacuum as well if your home has carpeted areas. The strong battery life, coupled with the design that maneuvers around furniture nicely, made this a winner for anyone who's looking for a cordless wet-dry vacuum. Number 5. DreamTech H11 Max Wet and Dry Vacuum. If you hate the noisiness of a vacuum, the DreamTech H11 Max Smart just might be your next purchase. All the vacuums we've reviewed here were tested in the same space, and compared to all the others, this one was by far the quietest, both while it was being used and during the automated self-cleaning period. It was so quiet, in fact, that you could definitely hold a conversation or watch TV while it was in use, at least at a higher volume. This is a great feature, especially if you don't want to wake other people in your household or if you like being able to listen to music or watch TV while you clean. Although it's quiet, it doesn't sacrifice performance. All in all, this vacuum did a great job of cleaning up messes on hardwood and tile. Note, it doesn't work on carpet, so that portion of the test was skipped. While some spots needed a little extra attention, there was nothing it couldn't pick up, whether wet or dry. The smart technology features allow this model to sense wet versus dry messes and adjust accordingly. When maneuvering around furniture, it was able to suck up debris once it was flush up next to the edge of each piece, and it was generally easy to maneuver around chair legs and corners. Throughout all of this, the vacuum, which has a 35-minute battery life, maintained its charge, and by the time the testing period was over, it still had 70% left. The main con we noticed, besides it not working on carpet, is that deep cleaning the machine itself was a little bit of a cumbersome task. You have to dig pretty deep to remove all the leftover debris, which isn't ideal if you don't want to get your hands dirty. With all this being said, we feel that it's worth the investment, especially considering how swiftly and quietly it moves. If it's important to you to find a wet-dry vacuum that isn't too disruptive while being used, This one is a great choice. Number 6. Bissell Crosswave X7 Pet Pro Wet Dry Vac. We all know what it's like to have to endure slog of using a big and bulky vacuum and how tiring it is. But the Bissell Crosswave X7 makes that a thing of the past. This one got our vote for easiest to maneuver because of how comfortable it is to use across multiple functions. For one, the user-controlled solution dispenser means you're in control and able to determine how much cleaning solution you want or need to use, which eliminates wasted product. Also, the design of the vacuum itself made it very easy to steer while using. During testing, we were able to turn the head about 60 degrees without changing hand positions so that we could clean round chair legs, which is often a cumbersome task. In many high-tech wet vacuums, it feels as though you're being propelled by the machine and not fully in control, so using this one was a breath of fresh air for ease of use. While the suction worked very well in general across all the tests, we did notice that it struggled in particularly deep grooves in the hardwood floor, so the milk spill seeped deep inside, and it was hard to fully clean it up. Also, while it does work on carpet, we did find that it struggled over certain spots, especially because it doesn't have a brush roll dryer and the brush rollers were still wet from the previous cleaning. If you're switching from vacuuming to mopping across different floor types, this is something to keep in mind, as it will definitely prolong your cleaning process. With all this being said, this model sits just between the median price of vacuums we've tested and the highest. Because this worked so well across all the surfaces we tested and because of how easy it is to maneuver, we found the price point to make sense. If you want a vacuum that prioritizes user comfort, this one would be a great purchase. Number 7. Tineco Floor One S7 Pro Smart Wet Dry Vacuum Cleaner. If you're looking for a wet dry vacuum with lots of bells and whistles, you'll love this one from Tineco. You can tell it's high quality immediately upon taking it out of the box. It also has excellent suction across both hardwood and tile floors and manages to detect the type of mess it's cleaning up without any user input required to change settings. Whether it's oily mayo or crunchy cereal, we found that it didn't take much to effectively clean each surface. It also has many bonus features like bidirectional self-propulsion technology that determines what direction you're going with the vacuum and adjusts the wheels to make movements easier. While there were some moments where this feature made using the device a little bit awkward, it is a cool feature to see put into practice. Even with all these qualities at work, the vacuum still manages to stay relatively quiet so that you can watch TV or have a conversation while using it. The biggest con was the small water tanks. Throughout the test, we had to either empty the dirty water or refill the fresh water every few minutes, so while cleaning you'd most likely experience disruptions. Aside from us wishing the water tanks had larger capacities, the price point is also quite high, and this vacuum is certainly an investment. However, it has lots of high-tech bells and whistles that definitely signal its high luxury, from the in-depth self-cleaning to the movement detection technology and the pleasantly quiet motor. All of these things are why this vacuum got our vote for the best design, so this is a great option if you like the novelty of bonus technology.